Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. My name is Heidi, and you can find me as Knitty Girl on Ravelry, and you can find me as Undead Heidi on Instagram and Twitter. How are you guys doing? I think it's been about 2 weeks, which is good. That's usually what I try to shoot for. Let me go ahead and tell you, I know people will ask this. I did make this vest, and it's made with cotton, and I believe it was a red hard cotton. I'm not sure. You'd have to look at my Ravelry page, but I know that I saw this on a Knit and Crochet Now episode, and it was a way to use cotton so that it wouldn't sag. The stitches, the slip garter and the slip stitches help it to keep from sagging, and I've had this vest for a while, so it really did work out pretty good. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to talk about the two things I've been working on, or that I am working on. I was working on some things and I finished them. This lighting is kind of, let's see, let's try that. Trying not to be in the shadows, but it's hard. Trying to make it so that you guys can see pretty good. Here is, I've been working on the dog blanket I showed you before. I finished one strip. Here's another strip. None of these are really going to match that well, but see, that's how I feel about the sock blankets. That's why I haven't made one, because unless you plan it, I feel like I don't really like the way most of them look when they're done. Colors don't look good together. They're just kind of clashy. So anyway, here's another one, and most of this stuff that I'm using is either yarn that I dyed or hand spun, except this is 716 knit, a mini skein that I got one time, and then this one is some cotton linen yarn that I used in a different project. And this little strip right here is a mini skein I got from Blue Moon Fiber Arts. But all of this is either yarn I dyed or hand spun. And the other strip that I showed you before is all hand spun, pretty much. So it's a good way to use up bits and bobs. Once I'm done, I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 strips, just sew them together. And I'll probably hand wash them, because hand wash it, it's not gonna be very big. All my dogs are fairly small, 25 pounds and under, so they don't need a really big blanket. But I found it's funny, whenever I put anything down on the ground, like they'll sit on it if it's in the hard floor. So that's probably what I'll use it for, is like a mat for them to sit on the floor. The other thing I've been working on is and this is a fat squirrel bag that I got at SSK a couple years ago. And I like that it has a little area that I can keep an extra stitch marker in case I drop a stitch. So this is my Casey's Pockets to Go bag, and it's the yellow from the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival. And I am actually a sponsor for them this year. I'm sponsoring the festival, and I will be there, and it's not until April. It's kind of towards the middle or end of April. One of the weekends. It's on a Saturday or a Friday and a Saturday. And it's in Seguin, Texas, so I will be vending there. That's the next place I'm vending at this point. That's all I know. Have my name in some other places, but I don't know anything else for sure. Anyway, in here is my Lady Fernico yarn, and it's the one I showed you last week. It's orange and yellow, and I started making a sock, and this is, I think I'm going to make pretty long socks. The thing I like about, I know the lighting is a little bit weird, but it's really showing all the colors the way that they really are. That's pretty good to show the colors. And it's a sock yarn, but I don't remember what she said the name of it was. I think I misplaced the tag, so if I find the tag next time, I'll write it down. And I don't think I've put this project yet in Ravelry. I'm not sure if she's put her yarns yet in Ravelry, so I'll have to look at that. So those are the two things I'm worked on. I do have a couple of FOs. One of them, unfortunately, I wore them, so I can't show you them. I did finish my socks, the Christmas socks, with my Grinch yarn. And let's see if I can pull up. I believe I should have a picture that I can show you guys, because I did take a couple of pictures of them. Let me see if I can find it on Instagram. I don't see a picture. I know I put a picture up though, because I remember taking a picture of them. Oh, here we go. This is what they look like. And that looks good. It looks true to color too. So I used, if you remember, I split the skeins in half, and half was red with green speckles and half was green with red speckles. And then I used them to make socks, and there's several ways you can use them. This is one way you can use them. I used separate colors for the heels and toes on this one. But there's lots of ways you can use those yarns together. So that one, and that one's going to be available, the Grinch is available until the 1st of December, and then that'll be it. So that's one FO. Here's my other FO, and this one I did in my bulky yarn. Right now I'm just calling it bulky. I sold some of it at Stitches, Texas, but I haven't sold any of it online yet, so right now I'm just going to call it bulky and see how it sells. If it doesn't sell well, it'll be something that I put on discount or use for giveaways in the shop. So this is my Lala Simple Shawl, and like I said, I used my bulky yarn, which is it's 137 yards of a bulky weight, and I love the pattern. The pattern is by Laura Linneman of the Knit Girls, and I weaved in all the ends, and then I put it on the other day, and it is the softest. This yarn is just so lusciously soft and squishy, and it's warm. This is going to be a joy to wear, because sometimes I make shawls and the yarn is a little itchy and you don't necessarily want it on your skin. This one feels wonderful right up next to my skin. I love it. So this is my Lala Simple Shawl, and it's in my second FO. You can see the textured stitches. And I made a mistake at the top. There shouldn't be all those eyelets, but I really like the way it looks, so I just kept it. And then at the end, I just did some extra garter rows and bound off. And I love it. It's a great color. You know, I know it's undyed, but that means it'll just go with everything. And I have the feeling I will probably be using it in my house. So that's another FO, and I did go ahead and do some spinning. I'm really wanting to get more of my spinning done. I did a decent amount during Spinzilla. I think I spun 4 braids. Not Spinzilla, Tour de Fleece, and then I never plied any of them. So here's the first one I plied, and I love the way it came out. I think this is my first worsted weight yarn. This came out to be a worsted weight, and this is some Highland Handmaids, and it's a mixed BFL, and the colorway is called Brown Eyed Susan. And these are totally colors I love. Yellows and browns. And not really orange, it's more gold. More gold, yellow, and brown. And it's very beautiful, and I know I had written down 126 yards. I got 126 yards of a worsted weight, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm not sure if that's enough for a hat or not. I always get confused about hats because I don't really knit them very often. But I don't think I want to do mitts with this. And I'm not sure I'd want a cowl. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas for what to do with a worsted weight BFL, let me know. Because I would like to keep this for myself, because these are some of my favorite colors and I really like wearing those. So that's all that I have for... Oh, and I did do some mitts in my Oogie Boogie colorway, and I'm not sure where those are either. I brought them to work to wear, so it's possible I left them there. I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and see. I know I have posted them on Instagram. Yes, here they are. This one, it might be harder to see because they're speckled. That's good. They're brown, burgundy, and green. And that's in my Oogie Boogie colorway, which is also going to be available until the 1st of December. And then that one will go away. So those are all my FOs, which is nice. I actually had a bunch of them this time. week in review. I need to go and grab a bag because I need to show you guys what I got when I went to Kid and You. My husband and I went to Kid and You, and while we were there, we saw a lot of our friends from Austin and from San Antonio. And we got to visit with some of our friends who were vending. But this bag, one of the girls at Happy You had this, and she told me she found it at H-E-B, and I went and got one. I found one at H-E-B. I love it. Isn't it great? So this was my shopping bag that I brought with me to Kid and You. And when we got there, we started looking around, and the first thing I bought was, it was a fleece, and I don't know if I have it. Not a fleece, a full fleece. It's a scoured fleece, and it was, I believe it's 8 ounces, and it's Dorset, and it's a brown, and I got it from the Happy You. Misty Muir from the Happy You was there vending with some of her spinning fibers from her shop, and she also was teaching because she is taking the Master Spinners class, and she has learned quite a bit about spinning. I do not see that right now, so I may have to show that next episode. Oh, I know why, because I put it outside. The things that, fleeces that I need to card or whatever, I've been keeping them in the garage with my dyeing things. So that's where that is. But it's really pretty. It's a beautiful brown, and I will show that next time. I'm sorry for those of you who are wearing headphones. Then the next thing I did is I think I went to the next barn, and it's kind of an outdoor venue. The first place is a building that's an enclosed building, but then the other 2 spots are barns. And I went to, I believe it was called McKitty. Let's see if I can find her card. Here it is. It's called the McKnittery. And this is in I think it's in McKnitty, Texas. She said that they are north of Dallas. And the first thing I saw there that I've wanted to do knit this for a long time. I just haven't bought it. So she had the Exploration Station shawl, and I went ahead and bought that. This lighting is really bothering me. There, that's better. I might be blown out, but at least you can see. I bought the Exploration Station pattern, and I also, she had some really nice indie dyed stuff that I like at her shop. So she had Space Cadet, and you know what's funny? I've never bought any Space Cadet, but when I looked at it, I still didn't want to buy it. So I think she specializes in solids, and I'm not really drawn to solids. So I'm guessing that's probably why I'm not as drawn to Space Cadet as a lot of people are, because I ended up going for a dyer that I already bought stuff from that I love, that I don't see everywhere. This is from Black Trillium Fibers. And I should go look at my stash. I have the feeling I bought some 2 other similar skeins from other dyers. I think I'm really into the orange and purples right now, but this one also has some yellow and some black in it. And this is called Chennai. I'm not sure how you say it. It's 100% superwash merino, 380 yards. So this would look fabulous in the shawl. And maybe I could even put it in this one if I have some other colors that will match. Maybe a couple solids that will match this. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use to make this yet. This is not something I'm going to do right away, but I will be doing it in the future. Because I have always wanted to knit that, so I know I will. So that was the first place we stopped, and we talked there for quite a while. I hadn't talked to the owner, and she had actually been at Stitches, Texas when I was there too, so this time I got a chance to talk to her. And the next place we went was Knitting Rose. Let me see if I can find, oh yes, here it is. I love Lise. She's a great person. And she had some sparkle sock blanks, and I don't think I told y'all, but I think I only bought 4 sparkle sock blanks to dye that I brought to Stitches, Texas, and they're all gone except for one, and I'm not going to knit with that one because that colorway I've already knit with. But I really, really love the way the sparkle sock blanks look, so I saw this one and I had to have it. Isn't that gorgeous? And you can even see the sparkle. Look at that. Those are so, and the, you know, this orange and yellows are my colors. And it also has some green and blue in it, and look at how sparkly it is. I totally love it. It's awesome. And this is called, why does it say Tinky Tweet on it? Is that the name of it? It says Knitting Rose. Maybe that's the name of her sock yarns. 438 yards. Superwash Merino, Nylon, and Stellina. So maybe there's no colorway for this, or maybe that she just calls them all Tinky Tweet. I don't know. We'll have to look online. But beautiful, and it was nice to visit with Lise. So that was my second stop. And then, where did we go next? We were all over the place in there. I did buy some stitch markers and some dye from Mohair & More. They had a really excellent price on dye. If you're looking for dye, you could go online and buy from them. It was very inexpensive. So that's where I bought a bunch of dyes that I have not used before. And then, let me make sure I'm not missing anything in here. I did buy quite a bit. And before that, Anthony and I had gone to the farmer's market and we bought a bunch of stuff for gifts, so I'm not going to show those. I did buy something that, another thing that I don't have up here. I bought some dryer balls from the lady who does the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival, Carla, and that is from Windmill Crest Farms. I've tried to make them myself and I couldn't do it. The ball, it just would not stay in a ball, so I don't have the skills, or I just don't have the patience to do that right now, so I thought I'll just buy them because my husband loves to use fabric softener, but I think I told y'all I have a lot of allergies and I don't like strong scents on things. It tends to bother me, and sometimes I get, from certain scents, give me really bad headaches. So I want to try the dryer balls because I've heard that they're just as good. They'll soften it up, but they won't leave that scent. You know, they're not scented. But she said we could, if we wanted to, put some essential oils on them. And that's not a bad idea because I'm okay with essential oils like eucalyptus and lavender and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't know that. So another thing I wanted to try a dyer that was new to me. Actually, I got from 2 dyers that were new to me. This is from Panorama Yarns, Fiber Arts, and she does what's called sake bombs. She calls them sake bombs. They are obviously gradients, and she uses a base that I don't use, so I thought I would try it. This one, I believe it was merino and tencel. Yeah, merino, nylon, and tencel, and it's 440 yards. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I haven't seen these colors put together before, so I thought this would be a nice gradient to try. And I talked to her for a while. She also sells fiber, and she is going to have a sale, I believe, starting Black Friday, maybe Small Business Saturday, but she said she's going to have a sale, and she only does a sale in her shop once a year. So if you want to check out, if you'd like what you see here, she has lots of gradients. She also, like I said, she also does fiber, and there's one fiber I have my eye on that I may get in her sale. Let's see if she has her website on here. I don't see her website on here, but I'm guessing she's probably on Etsy, and she's called Panorama Fiber Arts, and I believe she's from the Houston area. So this one was new to me. And I also bought some minis. And this I bought because she has a set. This is a set of, she had 2 sets of minis, and I believe they're all minis of colors that she regularly dyes. So this one had a lot of little minis in it that she regularly dyes. So I thought I could try them out, and then if I like any of them in particular, I can go back and get a full skein. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. They're pretty small, so I'm thinking maybe people use these kind of tiny things for mitered square blankets, but you know I'm not going to do that. So who knows, maybe I'll have some Franken socks in my future. I'll have to see how many yards, 20 yard mini skeins instead of 10. I don't know if that's going to be, that may not be enough for socks, but actually that might be enough for like some Rose City rollers, and that would be fun. That might be fun to do, some Rose City rollers and Franken socks. So that may be what that is. And she's called Kimmery's Knit Necks, and I think she also may be from Houston. I could be wrong. But she is also on Etsy. She has a website, kimmerysKnitNecks.com, but I know I've seen her on Etsy as well, I'm pretty sure. So that was another dyer that was new to me. I'm sorry to those of you who are wearing headphones. My allergies have been really bothering me, so not really a lot I can do about that. I wasn't going to get anything from Brazen Stitchery because I always buy something for her, and I've knit at least 1 or 2 of her yarns already, and I know I have a bunch of it sitting around, and I have fiber that I've spun of hers, but she has taken on a partner. Penny Yeager, who's been helping her with her shop and with going to shows and everything, decided she wanted to start dyeing, and she did some sock blanks, and this kind of reminded me of Andre Sue Knit's sock blanks. Hers and I think Gail's Art has done some like this too, and I just couldn't resist. I had to, because I've wanted to buy these, but every time I go look for some with this pattern on it, this stencil pattern on it, they're gone. So I decided I had to have it. And this is the other half of Brazen Stitchery. It says Dyed by Penny, so right now they're both going under the same brand, but she's mostly doing the sock blanks. So that was another purchase, and I figured, hey, she's a new dyer, so may still be Brazen Stitchery, but she's a new dyer. You guys know I love Brazen Stitchery. She just does great stuff, and I think she's a really neat person. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I think this may be my last purchase that I have. I already had talked to Amanda of Lone Star Arts because she posted on her website, and I think she might have some more. She didn't have any actually at the show because they had sold out. She has made some She has made some Gilmore Girls bags, and I love the Gilmore Girls. I think I told you guys when I got some of the yarn from Mary Gail, I went ahead and just checked it out to see what the whole hype was about, and I got totally sucked in. I binge watched all 7 seasons in like 2 months. So I asked her ahead of time if she would make a bag for me. So my bag she has 2 style bags, and I think she might have also gotten some new Knitmore, not Knitmore, why do we want to say Knitmore? Some new Gilmore Girls fabric in, so you can check her yarn shop, which is lonestararts.etsy.com. And I got the yellow inside, but here's her tag. I got the yellow inside, but you can also get blue handles and a blue inside instead. And I just love it. It says like Stars Hollow Video, Soda Shop. Remember there was the Soda Shop. It's just really neat. It has, like Luke's Diner, no cell phones. It's just really cute. And I am going to put one of Mary Gail's skeins in here. And Friday, when they have the new episodes on Netflix, I'm going to start a new project with my Gilmore Girls bag and my Gilmore Girls yarn. Don't know what I'm going to make yet because I haven't picked out the yarn yet, but I'm very excited to do that because I just love testing on new things. That's why I have so many whips, but hey, yay! I'm looking forward to the new season. And the other thing I bought from her was something I had seen at the Yarn Barn during Yarn Crawl. She has a new colorway, and it's just beautiful. It's called Supernova, and it does like faux striping if you make socks. And I just totally love the way the colors are in this, and it's so funny now that I'm looking at it. In some ways, it's kind of similar to my Wild Rumpus, but her colors are darker. She's got black and Yeah, I don't think she has blue in hers. Hers is mostly black and gray. It's a different green. The green is almost yellow. It's like a yellowy green. No, it's different. It looks kind of similar, but it's not. It's different, and it knits up very differently from my. Isn't it funny how things can look similar, but then when you start knitting them, they're not? It's beautiful. This is on the Mockingbird base, and it is 100% superwash merino wool. Normally I don't do that for socks, but I'm telling you, I may just go ahead and do it anyway, because I do have some socks that I've knit out of 100% merino. Some of them last longer than others. It just depends. This looks like it's a pretty decent twist. So this looks like a pretty high twist, so it might be fine. I'm not all that hard wearing on my socks, but I do like to wear them at home without shoes, so that's the only thing that would possibly cause a problem. But I really like the way this knit up in socks. I don't know if I'd want to do it in a shawl. I'm kind of stuck in my head. I have like my pair of socks already already ready to go. So anyway, check her out, Lone Star Arts. She has some beautiful yarn, and if you want a Gilmore Girls bag, go and get them, because she has, like I said, she also has some new fabric, and I might have to check that out too. And I'm telling you guys, I don't need any more bags. When I started this podcast, I swear I had 2 project bags. I was one of those people who I just would put them in like a cosmetic bag, or I don't know, like a tote bag or something, and now I'm like, I have way too many bags. I don't need any more. And yet I still see things and I want them. I guess the yarn problem goes along with the bag problem. So those are all of the things that I bought at Kid New. I had a very good time. I also got to see Anna from Yarn Carnival, and my friend Kim, who does Casey's Pockets to Go. She was there as well. And who else did I see? Oh, the ladies from Inskein Yarns and from Ply Yarn. I love Ply Yarn Shop. They had some really amazing things at the shop this year. They had some Mothy and the Squid and Lemonade Shop, and I didn't show you guys those. Actually, let me pull it over. I don't think I showed... I got a lot of stuff at Yarn Crawl, so I'm not going to show it all, but some of it I think you probably would want to see, because it's kind of unique. That's not what I was looking for. Oh, I actually wanted to show this kit. My friend, she also was vending. This was, I think, her first time being a vendor. She and Lisetta, I don't know if her name is Lisetta. I think it might be something else, but Mickey has the Guilty Treasures yarn, and I've shown it before. She used to be called Mi'kmaq, and I got this pack, and along with this pattern that she designed that's just amazingly beautiful. I think that's her daughter doing the pictures, and it's called Piskelly's Diamonds. And I got the yarn that is for this one because I love the way this one looks. It's just amazing. And it's funny because I don't normally buy the same yarn that they make the pattern with, but look at the green, guys. It's beautiful. And then the nice thing was it also came with a bag, a drawstring bag. So Mickey also made the bag. So she is multi-talented. She did the pattern, the yarn, and the bag, which I think is fabulous. So that is one thing that you might not have seen before. So you can check out, I don't believe she has a website. I don't know. She does have a Facebook page. So if you look up Guilty Treasures, I think she told me she's selling on Facebook, but she does not have an Etsy shop. I know she's in some of the yarn shops around here. She's in the Happy U like I am. And she's also in Ply Yarn and I believe Yarn Barn. So this is... I bought this when I was at the Happy U, and we both did a trunk show at the same time. There were a lot of us there doing a trunk show on that day. So that's one unusual thing that I got. And I wanted to show you guys, if I can find it. I don't see it right now. Oh, this is Lady Lisetta's bag that I bought from her. The lady she was sharing a booth with. Because I just love, look at that, little dogs. Little pug. So cute. And here's the inside. The inside is all the paw fabric. With the drawstring. Yep, another bag. 2 more bags. Trying to find, I got a lot of really unusual stuff, but I'm really trying to find the ones that I got at the Yarn Barn, and I do not, or not the Yarn Barn, the ones that I got at Fly Yarn, but I don't see it. But I did get a Mothy and the Squid. I did get a Mothy and the Squid, and I did get some Lemonade Shop, so if you are in the area of Wimberley, check her yarn shop out. It's really cute. I was going to talk a little bit, oh, we're already at 30 minutes. Let me just briefly tell you that I read a book called Usher's Passing by Robert McCammon. Amazing. It's based on the family that was in the fall of the House of Usher, and the premise is that Usher is real and the family is real, and the whole premise of that story is real. And one of the people from the Usher family shows up to Poe and said, "You wrote this story about my family and you messed them up and it's not fair and everybody knows now." So, but that's just the beginning. That's the prologue. It's amazing. Robert McCammon wrote it, and now I totally want to see what else he's written because it was incredible. At the beginning it was a little bit slow, but it did pull you in, especially because with the Poe reference at the beginning. But oh my gosh, scary. Really, really scary. If you like a good psychological thriller, read it. It's so good. I had to mention that. Okay, now I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys who the winners were for the horror knit along. I was going to run it through November, but honestly, there were like 10 days after in November, and nobody had posted since the 31st. So I thought, I'm just going to close it because nobody else was posting. So I pulled for some winners, and the first winner will win a skein of Daisy Knits. And she told me a really funny story about this yarn. I won't go into details, but she said a lady who picked this up just had a yarngasm because she loves this base so much. So this is 50% merino, 50% tencel. This is a one of a kind. And it's reds and blues and a light blue. It's very pretty and shiny. And the winner for that was number 32, who is Lemcall, who is Linda from Pennsylvania. I know I have your address somewhere, but if you could PM me on Ravelry and send it to me again, it'll be easier for me to get it to you quickly. So that's the first winner. The next winner was number 34. And number 34 has won this beautiful skein of yarn from Lady Furnico, my friend Marlicia. And this, I don't know if you can tell here, but it has a beautiful shine on it. And I believe she called this one Sugar Plum. Let's see. Yes, this is Sugar Plum. And this is a merino bamboo blend. And it's a sport weight. It has 262 yards, merino, and yes, viscose from bamboo. So the winner for this one is number 34. Funny, they were so close together. I used random number generator. Number 34, who's Alchemy, and that is Diane from Minneapolis. So Diane from Minneapolis, if you can PM me. I think I'm going to go ahead and start tagging people for prizes. I like people to watch the podcast, but sometimes I know it takes a while before you get around, and sometimes I end up skipping podcasts because I'm so far behind. So I will go ahead and tag everybody this time who's a winner. And you have a month to claim it. If after a month you don't claim it, it's going to go back into the prize pool and for the next knit-along. And the next person will win another skein from Lady Furnico, and this one is a worsted weight, and it's called Aged Black Cat. It's 220 yards of 100% superwash merino, or superwash wool. It doesn't say merino, so, and this one isn't as squishy as the other one, so I think this might be a blending of wools. And this one goes to number 53, who is Kai Lynn from Houston, Texas. So Kai Lynn, PM me and tell me what your address is so I can get this beautiful skein of yarn out to you. I really like this. It's yellows and grays, and what did she call the aged black cat? It's really pretty. So the last winner wins a $10 or less pattern, and that goes to Crocheting Hoovie. And Laura, I'm pretty sure I have your address, but let me know that you heard this so that I can get that out to you. Oh, and you have to tell me what pattern you want. So you have to tell me anyway. You have to contact me anyway. I don't need your address. Just contact me and tell me which pattern you want, $10 or less. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that if you do have things that you were going to enter into my Halloween horror fall, I can't talk. I need speech therapy. If you were going to enter into the horror long and you're disappointed that I closed the thread early, go ahead and enter your stuff into Crocheting Hoovie's follow along, because hers is a Halloween follow along. And I believe she is still taking entries, and she has some fabulous prizes. So go ahead and enter into hers. I think I entered my Halloween socks in that thread. Since we're getting late, I'm not going to go into any more of what I'm watching or reading. But I did want to mention 2 podcasts that I think are fabulous. I have been watching The Passionate Spinner for a while, and I have failed to mention her here. Her name is Tracy, and she lives in Germany, and she is very talented. She's multi-talented. She is a sewer, and she is a knitter, and she is a pretty prolific spinner, too. She had this special podcast that she did all about spinning for a sweater, and I haven't knit a sweater in a long time, but I have this ambition in my head that someday I'm going to spin for a sweater. But if I do, I will definitely watch her podcast, because it's all about how to do it with different skeins and colors, and how to put them together for a sweater. And that's pretty fabulous. She does some amazing sewing as well. So, and she's from Germany, so she shows us a lot of sock yarns and things that are from Germany that we don't get around here. So I really enjoy watching Tracy. And then another podcast that I've been watching that is fairly new, I think he's on episode 8 or 9, is David Dog Dare, and that is David, and I know he lives in either North or South Carolina, I forget which one, but he also likes a lot of creepy horror stuff. He likes a lot of other things too, and he does some really interesting things. He did this whole podcast on different kinds of photography and things you can do with it. I don't remember what it was called, but it was different. It wasn't just taking a regular photograph. It was how to tweak it. That was really interesting. He also did a podcast where he showed when he walked around in an insane asylum at night, like late at night, midnight. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I didn't see anything scary. But I don't know if anything scary happened while he was filming. But it was interesting to see. And he's just very interesting. He's got a lot of different skills. He's a knitter. I don't believe he's a spinner. But I always find something interesting to take away from his podcast, because he pulls in different things that he likes to do. He talks about different crafts too. So those are 2 podcasts I would recommend you check out. And with that, I'm going to say get busy knitting or get busy dying.